Show. That's right. Welcome in, welcome back, folks, to the collective we, as college football fans, is it time that we need to rethink how we view, think, talk, and write about the quarterback position in college football edition of the Always Irish Show? As always, you can find the program on YouTube. Do it. Subscribe if you haven't yet. Appreciate it very much. Give the video a thumbs up. That helps Yanni Boy out as well. Notifications on that way. You will learn it every time a new episode drops. I know you don't want to miss it. Twitter. Search bar Always Irish. Rat. Always Irish Inc. Emails alwaysirishnd@gmail.com. Audio only anywhere you want it. You can get it if you don't want to see my face. I don't blame you. Call in lines. 312-988-15. You dialed up. Tell Johnny all you've heard and seen. Instagram, Facebook, Always Irish Inc. You want to read about it because you don't want to hear me or see my face? I got you covered. USA Today Fighting Irish Wire. Check it out. Patreon.com/Always Irish. Former captain, leading tackler Mike GOOLSBY, and myself breaking it all down behind the paywall. What could go wrong? A lot. It's beautiful. We have a good time. All right. Welcome in. Welcome back. So you know how I am. Now that we're in the off season, oh, buddy, my wheels are always spinning, sometimes at my own detriment, but you know the way my brain's always spinning with something football-y. Here's what I got. Follow me here. We all know, and if you don't, you should. The quarterback position is the most important position in all organized sports. There is no other singular one position in team sports that can alter your outcome significantly more than a quarterback. We should all know that. We all want our team to have the best quarterbacks. We all know that. For Notre Dame, we used to have a problem of we don't have any quarterbacks good enough, thanks to poor development, not great recruiting, Swamp Thing being in charge, Boy Wonder. I don't know, but I know that it wasn't near good enough. Fast forward, now we're in a position where I feel like we're close to having a problem of we like all of our quarterbacks. Spit it out. We like all of our quarterbacks, but they're all not going to stick around. That's a new Notre Dame quarterback problem. And I'm on the books as saying, give me this problem over the old one. Give me this problem. So now we're in a position where I feel like Notre Dame's got a room full of quarterbacks I want to see more of. I don't know how you're going to be able to keep all these guys happy. Really. I mean, honestly, think about it, folks. I just don't. How does Denbrock and Gino and Marcus, how are you able to have enough passes to go around for Riley Leonard, Minchie, Angeli, and Carr to all be happy even before Deuce comes? All of that's before Deuce is in the mix, who has the greatest physical ceiling of all those guys, and he ain't even here yet. So it's a matter of how do you keep all of that group engaged this upcoming spring to feel important and a part of this? And everybody feels like they're getting a fair shake at their role. This is not an easy thing to navigate if you're the staff. Even as a fan, it's not easy for me to navigate. Usually there's a couple of quarterbacks at least where I'm going, yeah, I don't need to see you. I don't need to see you. And you know, one of them was Drew Pine. Drew Pine is one of them where I'm going, yeah, I don't need to see you. And it ended up where all of my hopes and dreams were lied upon Drew Pine. God bless the little guy. None of it was his fault. He should just never be in a position, even as a backup, to have to be Notre Dame's starting quarterback. That wasn't his fault, though. That wasn't his fault, though. But I mean it when I ask the question. How are they going to go through spring when every one of these guys has the world to prove and keep them all happy and satisfied with their role? How? Leonard wants to show he's walking in off the street. This injury isn't going to keep him down, and he's the lead dog and the NIL guy and all that. So he has that pressure to prove himself to the team. Minchie and Angeli are fighting for that backup role. And we've seen more of Angeli than Minchie. If I'm Minchie, I want more of a showcase to be able to show what I could do and maybe overtake Angeli or whatever. Those two are going to have their own battle. And then you have CJ Carr, the shiny new toy, but the spotlight's not going to be on him freshman year. So that he's going to be lower on the totem pole than these other guys because he's a real freshman. And again, all of that is going on in that quarterback room before the one with the most athletic talent even gets in the building the next year. So I ask somewhat rhetorically, how are you going to keep all those guys engaged, feeling like they have a shot? I don't know how you can. I don't know how you can. How many freaking snaps are there to go around in spring ball? Like, I just don't know how many balls there are to throw to make all these guys feel involved and engaged like they're getting a fair shake. These guys all have potential and things you like about their game in their own way that I genuinely want to see more of out of all these guys, not like just one or two. Every single one of the guys I mentioned, I want to see play football. That's rare. In the ecosystem of this conversation we're having, I want you to always keep in mind how I started it by saying, in the old days, there used to be no Notre Dame quarterbacks I wanted to see, even a starter. Now I want to see all of them. Big difference a couple years make of people that actually try and recruit Notre Dame the right way. So here's where my mind goes. Is the modern reality that with the no sit out portal stuff, we need to just forget having great depth at quarterback? Is that a thing of the past? Like, I know I sound old. I'm asking, I might be just attached to how it was. Is the modern reality such that with the no sit out, you could transfer rule, just give up on having great depth at quarterback? That's the question I'm asking you. Why would a guy sit when he wants to play if he's not playing and another school is going to let him play? So maybe this is where you use the Notre Dame angle of like Notre Dame's different. The Notre Dame community is like a family, the Notre Dame degree. We know like some of that's bigger than just football, whatever. Maybe those dynamics of Notre Dame and the community family feel of it all will help mitigate some of this circumstance. So I guess I'm just wondering if I'm an old head out here wanting to have like 3 good quarterbacks and have it all lined up for years and all that. And I'm just asking the group, is that even realistic anymore to have in my brains? Is that even realistic? Does it not feel like we're quickly approaching a place of 1 year, they're not connected. It's just these 1-year runs, and you run with your best starter, and then you have a young guy that's like a Carr freshman. But if you have anybody in between there that's pretty darn good, they're going to leave. Should that just be the default expectation? These players are no longer locked into wait your turn, learn under the veteran, listening to the emperor coach who controls your life and he's the king and everything he says goes. Those days are over. If guys aren't happy, they leave. If guys aren't happy, they leave. And it just happened to Notre Dame last year, right after the blue and gold game. It's like, wow, Tyler Buckner played bad and he looked totally disengaged. 2 minutes later, you find out why. He was already loading his bags to go to Alabama. So I guess I'm asking the group, what is the future of the quarterback position realistically? Are we viewing this realistically, wanting these guys all to stay, saying, oh, they should stay? Why? Because it's Notre Dame and everybody should want to stay because it's Notre Dame. Not everybody feels the way we do about Notre Dame, where you couldn't imagine leaving. And so I'm just trying to figure this all out because Notre Dame suddenly has a bunch of really strong players there. And you just want to be fair to everybody and have everybody feel like they're having a fair shake at this to claim their role and all that. It just feels to me like the new plan is a bunch of 1 year, do whatever with your best guy, and you can't count on anything behind it, and you can't kowtow to what's behind your best guy because there's no consistency. You just got to get what you could get with your number one guy, and whatever else happens to 2, 3, 4, whatever, just you can't worry about it and then start over next year. That's almost what it feels like. Which leads me to my final point. It is ultra critical that Gino and Denbrock, especially this spring, they need to have a crystal clear, 100% accurate read on all of these quarterbacks and what the order is. That is one of my number one priorities for this spring session of football. They got to be right. You can't mess this up. So you got to figure out this arrangement of who's 1, 2, 3, where everybody's slotted. You got to figure it out this spring and you got to get it right. Because what you can't have happen is pick the wrong main guy and then the other guy you should have picked or whatever leaves, and then you hit your wagon to the wrong guy, and then the right guy you can't even pivot to because he's mad because he knew he was the right guy. You didn't see it and he's gone. You got to avoid that. You got to avoid that. And so I really think if we zone in even more, Carr's on one end of this, Leonard's on one end of it, on the other end of their careers. What's going to happen with Minchie and Jelly? What's going to happen with Minchie and Jelly? I think when you hammer down into the weeds on this, I think I know Carr's going to be, doing the freshman thing, red shirt. And then Riley Leonard, if he's healthy, he's going to be your dude. What's going to happen with those middle guys? Minchie versus Angeli for that backup role. Whoever doesn't feel like they're going to win that role or doesn't win that role, and it's clear after spring, then what? Do we get another Tyler Buckner, or does whoever that guy is still stick around? I don't have the answer. But the more I think about the times we're in, I just don't think it's going to be rare. You're going to end up with 2 guys you like in similar classes sticking around. I just think it's going to be rare. You're going to have to go with your number one guy to back up. If he thinks he's good enough to start, somebody else will let him start. And then you just got to cross your little fingers that your starter doesn't get hurt, I guess. So this sport's changing so fast, and this is a part of it. I mean, I understand the players want more control of what they're doing, and I don't blame them for that. I could definitely see the frustration of a coach, though, of all the recruiting you do, and you have an older quarterback that's good already, but you got to recruit another one, and then that younger one doesn't want to wait a year for his turn, then he leaves. What do you do? What do you do? You're doing a good job recruiting and all that. Everybody wants everything right away. And that's not how the world works. So I don't know, you guys. I'm just wondering if I have an antiquated view of the quarterback position, that I want these guys stacked up in 3 different classes and they all are going to have their time and we feel good about it. And Guys are learning and waiting and developing. And then when it's their time, I think that might be a thing of old. So I don't know. But my final conclusion is this staff's got to be spot on with the evaluation of these guys, because you got to get that order right before we head into the summer. And then we see who stays or goes based off what that looks like. I don't know. I know there's a lot of allegiance to Angeli. I need to see more Minchie. I just need to see more Minchie. I'm ultra intrigued. I don't feel like he did anything wrong last year to not be the backup. He was a true freshman and he redshirted, so Angeli was the backup. I need to see those guys battle. I want to see those guys battle. So I don't know, you guys, but it's just, it's in my mind that I just need to get more modern, where it's just, you can only worry about 1 year at a time. Because these guys, the days of them sitting and waiting are over. So let me know what you guys think. Am I thinking about this wrong, or am I like old and out of touch, or what? Let me know what you think. But they better line these guys up right after spring. You better get these evaluations right. Know what you want to do and with who. Have a good one.